hospitality has been a rough time for restaurants. We had to shut a lot of our stores, close down a part of our business, reduce our team size. So dealing with that over the last 3 months has been painful, especially when you start out building something as a dream and you start from scratch. And we celebrated our 10th anniversary on March 1st. And March 18th, we closed down. So it's been a roller coaster.
But of course, you have been going through a lot lately in the last couple of months, and we all have read and heard about it. But talk to us about what happens from now. How have you sort of remodeled your business ideas, your business plans? What next for Love 15 and for your professional growth?
Sure. So I think at the time that we're in, there's no, but things are changing every single day. So I don't, this is the first time in my life where I'm actually one day at a time. There's no like 5-year plan or 3-year plan. The plan for this year is just to survive. So, whatever that means and whatever that takes. We have started a lot of, baking classes online, which are doing really well. I was sitting on my YouTube channel for years. I finally started it from my home kitchen, felt like I was 20 again. The kitchen is now operational. So I'm in my destination studio in Parel, and we have started deliveries. We've started a little bit of takeaway, DIY kits. We're doing some custom orders. So we're just figuring it out. We're hopeful that at a time like this, people will still need to celebrate and still need joy in their lives. So we'll always be relevant and people will always need cake. So I'm optimistic about that fact. Maybe the format of how that cake reaches you will change, but that we only know in time.
Let's step away from the gloom and doom scenario and talk about the bright side. You were telling us that you started your YouTube channel with something that you wanted to do for a very long time. So what else have you been doing over the last 3-4 months?
The 3 months being at home got me back to, being a home baker. Like I was baking in my home kitchen. You suddenly realize how much you took for granted, like just basic ingredients, right? So things suddenly that, things that were available in excess, you don't have access to anymore. So how do you make do with the least amount of things, with the least amount of equipment, ingredients? So for me, that was really, like a game changer. Like I'm baking from home. How do I make ghee cookies? Or how do I make a suji banana bread in a pressure cooker? So I just took them as challenges, and I said, okay, let's do this. Let's take one challenge at a time. And then eventually we were like, what? If people are really missing Love 15, I'd want them to make those recipes at home. So we started an ebook, which was the Bake at Home, just 25 of our top recipes, all modified for you to bake them at home easily with ingredients that are accessible. So, the challenges that I went through, I'm like, okay, let's adapt. And I'm sure if I'm going through this, a lot of other people stuck at home are doing this. And everybody's baking. Everyone is making banana bread. And everyone is making sourdough. So I think like for us, it's actually a good time to share knowledge and experience and help people become better bakers.
Any tips or any ideas that you would want to share with our viewers as well? Those who are, home bakers and budding home chefs.
For baking, it's really important to understand base recipes really well. And once you understand the foundation, you can play around with it, experiment, and make something really that's unique in yours. For example, I wanted to make a salted caramel at home, and I was like, okay, how do I make this easier? So I just took, a chocolate that's easily available, or a toffee that's easily available, melted that down, and very simply at home just created something from what I already have. So don't be afraid to experiment. Once you know how the basics function, play around with it. And I think that baking for most people is therapeutic, and at this time we all need a little bit of comfort.
What has been the coolest thing that you've tried in the lockdown in terms of recipes? Something that you thought you would have never done otherwise?
So firstly, baking in the pressure cooker was a great experience, because for me it was always, I've been like, this is my oven and this is what I need.
Professionally,
like this is it. And then suddenly I got a lot of people saying we don't have an oven. And I was like, okay, let me try using this pressure cooker and see what I can do with it.
But as a professional chef, have you had any failures also past 3 months while experimenting?
So many. Like I have every day, like I've like tried to make, so macarons is really challenging to make, and I've been making failures. But then you change a little bit of something and everything changes. So I tried to make them at home, and the first 2 times it failed, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Like my entire world is falling apart, and the one thing that I know how to do, I can't do. So it took a little bit of, adjusting it and trial and error to get it right, and now I can do it mostly. Yeah.
How much more have you realized about the importance of being financially independent in times like these? And perhaps if you could share any experiences on how you sort of plan your money and your investments.
Sure. So I feel like it's like not too many people talk about money and finance, which I've always I've become very vocal about that in the last couple of years. Because obviously, I started my business when I was 23. It was about passion. It was about, I want to just make cake. And then I let somebody else handle the money, which obviously, as we know, it doesn't really go well. And I learned my lessons the hard way. So about 2-3 years ago, I decided that this needed to change. And I needed, the whole business needed to be financially, it needed to be finance first. So we made many changes in the way we function and we work as a company in this transition from just, I'm doing this for fun, to really getting down to accurate data and things. And it's made such a big difference. The fact that I could sit in March and look at the scenario in front of me and take a call financially and not emotionally and say that we need to close a certain part of the business down was just because I was training myself, to understand this world of finance better. And I think that, obviously at a time like this, you realize that money in the bank is something that is so important. A lot of people are losing jobs right now. Your business, like for us as well, we've gone through zero revenue for the last 3 months. So how do you survive that? What are the changes you do? So firstly, I don't think anybody saw this coming, but we do always prep for disaster management. So I think that is very important. If you're a working professional, saving first. You get your income, you save first, and then the rest you decide how to spend, not the other way around. So for me, that has been a very key lesson over the last couple of years, how to save, how to, what am I spending my money on, why am I spending it where I am, and just general accountability.
Personally, are you a smart spender who would evaluate the value and, what it's worth, or are you sort of somebody who gives in to temptation?
I am actually a very smart spender. I give into temptations where it's, I have certain buckets. So I know if it's for wellness or it's something for personal growth. If I'm going to learn something and there's this class that I want to take that I have to spend a little bit more on, but I know I see the return on investment, then I'll spend it then. But if it's frivolous, then I won't. So
So very calculated about
very I've trained myself to become. It's been a journey. So yeah.
I have a list of quick questions that I'm going to throw at you. Should
I be scared?
No, these are non-controversial, and I'm hoping it'll be fun for our viewers to watch as well. So starting with a recipe that's close to your heart, or a dish that's really close to your heart.
Definitely the macaroons, but also these ghee cookies that I made because they're inspired by my nanny.
Favorite Indian dessert?
Ras malai.
What has been the toughest ingredient for you to work with?
Lemon, sour, yeah.
3 must-haves in your kitchen if you want to become or are a baker.
First thing is either weighing scale or measuring cups, very important, making it precise. Second is a whisk. And third is, I'm hoping you have an oven already or a pressure cooker. But mixing bowls, spatulas.
Working with fruits is more fun, or working with spices?
Chocolate, best.
Do you like frozen desserts more or baked?
Baked.
Your favorite meal? It could be sweet, savory, anything, any cuisine.
I always say the last thing I want to eat before I die is chocolate and salted caramel. So that is my favorite meal. I know chocolate is not a meal, but to me it is.
One big trend in the food business right now.
I think a lot of people are now doing DIY kits. So people are cooking at home. So everyone right now is making these kits so people can cook it.
One practice in the food business you'll never see again post-COVID.
I think the great thing is hygiene is going to be so much better. It's just generally you're going to see hygiene standards go up.
The biggest mistake people make while baking cakes?
Impatience.
I think I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, impatience.
Those who are sort of trying to build their own social media channels or handles, etc., how should they go about it? What is most important when you are on the social media telling people how to cook?
I think the main is to understand your product, understand who you're reaching out to, be consistent, and the most important thing is to be authentic. I think people need to see your real voice, and that's what people connect with.